Good evening. I am your host, Blade, a.k.a. the Anomaly. Tonight we'll be breaking down the classic, The Mighty O, performed by Garrison Bailey on this week's episode of the Kandi Factory. Thank you for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoy the experience. I'm going to try to go through this video a little quicker than the other ones because there's a lot more going on in the track, and I know y'all ain't trying to sit here and watch this shit for an hour, so we're going to try to be quick and get through this real fast so I can show y'all a little bit of everything. But we're going to start with the kick. Got 3 kicks going mixed with, well actually 4 because I got one that's kind of like on an off beat to give it some swing. What I did was basically take some more sampled kind of synthetic drums and mix them with some more live kind of acoustic drums to kind of have like a hybrid thing going on. So right now I'm going over the sampled and the synth drums. So then I bring in some snares and claps. I got like, I think 2 snares and I got like 5 different claps going on. Then I layered it up with some more acoustic sounding, realistic drums, just to give it that live, kind of rockish type of feel. So then I took that and combined it with the drum samples, and this is what you got. So then we go into the pre-hook section of the drums, and then I bring in some claps and just kind of break the drum beat down a little bit because it's about to build into the hook. And this is basically what you got here. So that's all the drums are doing pretty much through the verse and the hook. They kind of change up a little on the bridge, but we'll get to that later. Then we bring in the guitar melody. Shout out to my boy JP. He came through actually the same day we did the Let's Have a Good Time track. We also did this track, and he really delivered on the guitar melodies, and we were just in there jamming, and this is what he came up with.
Yeah, I guess, you know.
Pretty much all it does during the verse. Then we go to the pre-hook, switch up the main melody, then we add in a little solo on top of the main melody. Then we go into the hook where we basically just do some stabs and then throw a little melody in between the stabs. Then I layer that up with a more distorted guitar, had him replay it, and then I just rocked out the guitar sound a little bit. throw a little solo melody in between.
Oh, there's a little space between. Okay, take it again. Alright.
So that's the guitar elements on the verse and the hook. Then I work with the bass. And the bass is pretty simple. It's just mimicking what the guitar is doing throughout pretty much the whole song. So I just took a little virtual rock bass that I had in Contact and played that. Yeah, that bass kind of dropped down a little bit, you know, had to put a little spice on that. Something real player-like. Then during the pre-hook, I bring in like these techno kind of pluck leads to give it a nice ambient vibe. Add that into what's going on. To the hook, and I add a little synth bass to layer with the more live sounding bass during the hook, make it sound a little bit bigger, and then it's kind of got a little 80s retro vibe to it. Then I bring in some retro kind of synths to go with that whole retro vibe. And I got that out of a Roland Juno 60 emulation plugin I got. It's kind of a sound I kind of made myself. You know what I'm saying? Make your own sounds if you can, so you can have your own flavor. Presets is cool. I mean, if it works, it works. But try to tweak it and add some originality to it, or just created from scratch. Yeah, and that pretty much makes up the verse and the hook throughout the entire song. Then the next thing is the bridge. And on the bridge I kind of wanted to create a almost like a dance techno influence kind of breakdown. So that's the bridge. Just switch up the guitar melody a little bit. Then I add in the bass. Then I just added some pads and a little arpeggiation in the background to kind of fill it out, make it sound big. All that type of good stuff, make it sound real pretty. And this is everything with the drums. I'm bringing a little 909 snare. Then we go from there into like a little dubstep breakdown. I just want to throw something different in there, something interesting that people wouldn't expect. Of course, when I made this track was made actually quite a while ago. Dubstep was a little newer on the scene. It's kind of been beaten to the ground now, but you know, it was fresh when I did it. But this is basically the dubstep break. I guess I can break down at least like some of the drum parts and stuff. Like I said, I bring in a whole new set of drums. Like I totally change up everything. Played with the guitar, threw some effects on it. Just kind of chopped it up and did some interesting stuff with it. And that's the little breakdown. So this has been another episode of Blade TV. I hope you all enjoyed it. Tune in next week when I will be breaking down the song Tardy for the Party that I did for Kim Zolciak of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. It kind of started this whole phenomenon of taking an aspiring singer who never really got a shot and giving them a chance to do a legitimate song that might make it in the music industry. So I figured it's only appropriate to do as such and break down that song and how I did the music for that. I did not produce either contestant song on the next episode of Kandi Factory, so that's why I'm going to take that opportunity to bring you something very special. I'm going to continue to sip on my delicious cup of Blue Mountain coffee imported from the mountains of Jamaica. I hope you all have a good evening. Best wishes. Good night.